John and Darin's office chairs provided by GT Omega Racing. You can check them out at gtomegaracing.com.
Welcome to This Week Inside Sim Racing, May 25th, 2016 edition. I'm John Sable, and again, I'm just starting this off as Darin has gone away on a phone call. So, when he comes back, he'll be on the show. Actually, while I'm here, let me just kill that and wait till he comes back. But yes, welcome to This Week Inside Sim Racing. We'll get Darin going here in a second, but I started seeing threats of thumbs up being taken away if we don't start the show. So we'll get the show started. Can definitely get through the intro and all the things we're going to talk about without Darin. But this week's show, so not a ton of news items. Oh, look, he's back. I'll get Darin back up here. But yeah, not a ton of news items, but a lot of happenings around. As Darin gives a peace sign. See?
What's happening? Sorry, guys. Had something that I had to attend to.
So yes, news items. Big one of the week: Gran Turismo Sport launch event. I saw some people saying, "Let's not talk about that," but we got to talk about that because that is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is a big deal. There's only a new GT every 5 years, it seems like. So we're talking that. There was a new GT branded Thrustmaster wheel showing off at the event, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, even though there's not too much that we know so far. Automobilista had a new build released in the past week, and the new car and track, so we'll hit on that. And then iRacing came out with a pretty slick trailer for the latest track, Imola. So those things and happenings and poll question and all that good stuff.
Lots of good stuff. And no, I didn't just come from iRace for Life. Even though I'm wearing my iRace for Life shirt, I just like it so much because it's got our logo here and stuff.
It is a fancy shirt.
It is. Oh, they're saying my gain is a little high.
Really?
I'm going to crank it down again here. Hold on.
Man, see, sound fine to me. But while you're doing that, I just got some very good news 3 minutes ago on the phone. I'll see how well this works. But I'm qualified to go to E3.
Hey!
Finally. Only took an email to them this morning to be like, guys, what's the deal? Let's go.
Look us up. What the hell? Is that better, guys? Is that better on the game? I got to go hear this for myself. I'm gonna go boot up the show really quick. Says that the stream status is bad.
Oh, really? I don't have any drop frames. So should be fine.
Stream, we're not receiving video data at a fast enough rate. Your viewers may experience buffering.
Interesting. Well, hopefully we'll see in chat soon if there's an issue, but like I said, everything looks good on my front.
All right, yeah, gain sounds better. It sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. We actually do spend time on this before the show trying to get this all dialed in, but it's funny, once we go live on YouTube, it's like the settings that sounded fine all of a sudden don't work.
And people are saying stream is fine, stream is solid, so let's just get on with the show, shall we?
This is again, last week, YouTube, the issues we had, that was all YouTube. The show recorded was fine.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
YouTube again messing with us.
Yeah, maybe we need to just lower the bit rate a little bit. Anyway, let's not talk about it. Let's just move on with the show, shall we, John?
Yes, let's move on. So let's see. Oh, I don't know. We can probably just get right into it. There is a poll question in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Hopefully that's the right side. And so if you want to vote on that, we'll get to that a little bit later. But let's see. Let's start off with what are you laughing about?
My stream is fine and I'm middle-aged.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh, by the way, something else I
That
saw.
wasn't me. That, by the way, that was
I
spatial dragon in the comments.
Oh, that's funny. I saw something before the show, a comment. I just want to say Thrustmaster, Thrustmaster, Thrustmaster. There was a drinking game starting if we say Thrustmaster.
Thrustmaster.
So,
Why do they want to
drinks
say
up,
what was somebody complaining we say Thrustmaster too much?
I guess. You know, it'd be a better drinking game if you drank every time I touched my glasses. That'd be a more organic drinking game. And
That would
you'd
be a
drunk.
good one. Or depending on how many times I say,
Oh man, I'm bad at that one too. But anyway, let's roll into the news. And the biggest news item of the week is GT Sport. And on May 19th, at an event in London, England, that our very own Mark Puck covered for us. And pretty much gave all the details of what exactly GT Sport is. And what do we know? We know it's going to be over 130 cars, all the high-def cars with interior camera views and stuff like
Premium.
that. Premium, that's it. I
Yes,
always
they
forget
were
what term
considered
they used.
premium cars. Yeah, 19 tracks, 27 layouts. Photo mode up to 4K, 1,000 locations. So it looks like that they put a lot into that photo mode, but do we really care about the photo mode here?
I
at
don't.
Sim Racing? I know I don't either. I know some people do. They dig it. Remember Tommy, who used to be on the show? He used to dig photo mode, but whatever. Livery editor, I think that's cool. That's something new to Gran Turismo that was much needed.
Yes.
Um,
I will mention
sounds.
sounds. Oh, I will mention I do have the sound of the trailer going because I like this song, but so many people don't, so I decided to play it.
You know what? Andrea liked the song a lot too.
Yeah, I like it.
So, anyway, but yeah, I think it looks amazing. You're gonna get to try it at E3 next month. It's gonna be a while before I get to try it, but I think it looks great. I know Mark was having some problems with the handling, and it looked like that may have been setup related. Whether the wheel wasn't set up properly, it looked like he had to turn like 90 degrees. By the way, we've taken that video down because it was getting a lot of flack, but it looked like he had to turn like 90 degrees before the car was reacting, which is definitely not Gran Turismo-esque. I mean, you drove it, John. You drove Gran Turismo 6 here.
Yeah, let me
John?
come back here. Yeah, I'm still here.
John, hello? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I've driven 6, and yeah, I mean, it was interesting to read. Mark did a really good write-up on the website that got posted, I don't know, like 3-4 days ago. That's really good. I definitely suggest you guys check it out. But he described the driving, I think coming more from a sim racing standpoint. The things he said kind of made sense, where it was like, why isn't it more responsive? It kind of feeling a little floaty and odd. So, yeah, and I mean, I think that's somewhat true going back to Gran Turismo 6 and what I felt. You kind of got to take it with a grain of salt, those type of titles. The physics aren't sim racing physics.
No, they're not. But, I mean, depending on the car, the car and track combo, and it's like this with any title, really. Some feel great and some don't. So, a lot of it could have been set up. It could have been the car setup. I know at one point he picked street tires in the front and race tires in the back. That could have had a lot to do with his take on the handling. Anyway, you know what? Bottom line is, this is still, and they said this in the live stream, the GT Sport live stream, it's only 50% complete. So,
which I'm worried, by the way. We're only like 6 months away. I was kind of hoping for more than 50%.
I know, and that makes me wonder and the release date's November 15th, 16th, right around there. Yeah, and are they going to delay it like everybody else in the industry delays their titles? Not everybody, because some people don't, but Assetto Corsa, Project Cars delayed. Gran Turismo 5 was delayed like over a year and promised at a date, and then anyway. And my other question about GT Sport is this like Gran Turismo Prologue? So is this the prologue to GT7? Is what I'm curious about. Or is Gran Turismo Sport basically Gran Turismo 7? What do you think, John?
Yeah, I went and did some research on that the other day because I was like, yeah, I was curious about that, and I saw, I don't know who it was, but it was a video on YouTube that they said that someone straight up asked the creator, and I can't pronounce his name. We all know who he is.
Kazunori Yamuchi?
That guy.
That
Kaz.
guy.
They asked him like straight up, why isn't it just GT7? He said, well, we could have, there's enough stuff here we could have called it that, but we didn't. Like it was like a no answer kind of thing. Even though I guess they're saying that it has more content than Prologue, which it has 19 tracks, 27 layouts, which 19 tracks isn't bad. It's probably it's pretty similar to what Forza Motorsport 6 released with back last year. So
well, then how many cars? 130 plus cars?
Yeah, which again is a good number. I mean, as long as you don't have 25 different Subaru WRXs out there, it's okay. So
yeah, or it was the Mazda Miata. There was like 50 versions of the Mazda Miata.
it was like Miata, and I feel like they had a whole bunch of Skylines as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, one thing there were a couple notes. Let me grab my notes here. There was a live stream that happened last week where they were showing off this like World Championship Cup event that was going on with people driving from the event, and a couple of things I took away there. Graphics wise, I thought it was okay. A lot of motion blur.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You didn't like that when we were watching it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I normally turn that stuff all off in like Project Cars or Set of Course. Anytime I can turn it off, I do. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. I did like the field of view.
I hear a dog barking at your house, John.
It's my neighbor's dog.
At least it's not coming from my side. Good old Charlie. I don't want to say his name.
Yeah, don't say his name. But yeah, no, like that video. One of the videos we posted yesterday, it showed at Willow Springs. You could really see the field of views. I think pretty good. It's much better than like the Forza backseat driving.
Yeah, and Gran Turismo did offer 3 adjustments in the field of view, and the closest, narrowest I think it was. So Gran Turismo 6 was always pretty good. So it'd be nice. It'd be really nice to see if you can really adjust that, turn the wheel off, do stuff like that. But anyway, if it's going to be a prologue, $70. Well, I guess that's the limited edition.
Yes.
But still, I mean, that's like full title pricing.
It is. Which I don't know. It's a GT. They definitely. Even if it is like a prologue thing, they definitely go for full price. But a couple other things that we watched in that live stream. First, I didn't see any damage. That was kind of not great. And then it had this quickie cautions, which were actually really cool.
That was really cool. That was a really cool feature. I mean, I'd like to see that in more titles. Just like a brief caution. At first on screen, we were watching that. They were at Nordschleife, and it said full course caution. I was like, wait a second. They're going to do like a full lap of caution at Nordschleife? And then after about a minute, between 30 seconds and a minute, it went green again. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if the drivers themselves had a line back up or if it was automated system that the game took control and got you in line. But no, that was really cool. I mean, 30 seconds, everyone bunched back up and off you went. So that was, never seen that before. And really, really cool.
Another thing we haven't talked about yet, too, is the whole PlayStation 4.5 that's coming, and that this is going to be a VR title, which should be really cool. I mean, they've been talking about VR for Project Morpheus? Is that what it's been called for the PlayStation? They've had it at E3 like the last couple years. I never did try it, but they've been talking about VR for the PlayStation for a long time. But this is going to be one of the titles that is going to be VR compatible on that. And as far as I know, you're only going to be able to do VR on that PlayStation 4.5.
Yes.
So, anyway,
Yeah,
that's
it'll
gonna be interesting too.
Yes, it will. It will be interesting if maybe the graphics get a little prettier or whatever once that 4.5 comes out. But yeah, no, it's a lot of unknowns, a lot of things that gotta come together. The game's got to get done. This 4.5 needs to come out. Which has Sony officially even confirmed that?
They've talked about it. I mean, I don't know about a confirmation on it, but I mean, it's definitely been mentioned.
Yeah, yeah, I know it's been talked about. I just wasn't sure if Sony officially said yes, we're making this yet. But yeah, it sounds like it's coming. But either way, between those two things and then the PlayStation, I think I was calling it PlayStation VR now. A lot of things that gotta come together. But
Yeah.
hopefully it all does.
Yeah, and then some other real quick things too before we get to the next subject. If you pre-order it, 3 different places: GameStop, PlayStation Store, or Amazon. There's different bonuses that you can get. GameStop's got 2 early access bonus cars: Chevrolet Corvette Group 3 and the Nissan Nismo GTR GT3. PlayStation Store's got GT themed PS avatars, GT Sport dynamic theme, and 500,000 in-game credit. And then Amazon's also got 500,000 in in-game credit, which I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I like to hope that 500,000's a pretty good little boost there.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to see what they do money-wise. Will it be like Forza, or Forza Motorsport 6, where it's like you get all the money in the world and it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, so people are saying, so 4K is supposed to be on that 4.52, but Under Keck's GP says it's not confirmed. The 4.5 has not been confirmed yet. So, yeah, that's my phone ringing. Sorry, guys. Good thing it's upstairs. I should have put it on vibrate, but anyway, I'm a busy guy. So why don't we get on to the subject that I'm dying to talk about, the new Thrustmaster GT branded wheel that made an appearance at the GT Sport event.
Yeah, here's the video we released a couple days ago with Mark doing a voiceover talking about what he saw since he was actually at the event. And yeah, this is the new Thrustmaster wheel that we didn't know about until last Thursday, and we don't know what it is. It's a wheel, but we don't know a name.
Yeah, lots of speculation. Is it going to be a direct drive? Like, we're kind of seeing the back. Here's the back right here. That looks like a Dayton puck. I mean, spot on Dayton puck. So I'm wondering, is there going to be like a transducer attached to this thing? Interesting plugs here, some DIN plugs that we're seeing on the back. Looks like the standard pedal port. But yeah, I mean, I'm really curious about this thing. Here we're looking at the front of the rim, and supposedly this is Mark talked to Kazunori, and he said that some of these knobs and stuff are very VR friendly. So that wasn't confirmation of VR, but sounds like it kind of was to me.
Yeah. What and actually that's a really good look. They can see it's a traditional Thrustmaster Quick Connect, so nothing's changing there. So it looks like it should be universal. But yeah, ton of buttons on the front here. I mean, I love the rotary knobs, and then you got all the buttons from the controller all right there on the face, and then of course plus the paddle shifters on the backside. So yeah, a lot of good mapping opportunities there.
Yeah, and then Mark said he thought it was a 28 centimeter wheel or rim. And some people are complaining. Somebody just said, Michael Bolton just said in chat, "Dear Thrustmaster, stop making tiny wheels." Wait, so what is the 599? Was that 30?
That's the Evo 30. So that's 30.
So yeah, it looks. I mean, it's hard to tell based on those pictures in the video, but it looks like it's closer to a 30.
I do think it is 30 because 28 is, we have the leather edition rims. That's 28, the TM28, and there's a lot of buttons on that rim, and I think you'd be hard pressed to fit all those buttons on a 28 centimeter diameter. So I do think that might be 30.
Mark is in chat, and he says it is 11 inches or 28 centimeters. Would you take out a ruler, Mark? How do you know? Maybe somebody confirmed it for him. I know he talked to the guy from Thrustmaster, Gilles, quite a bit. So maybe he confirmed that. Maybe Mark can give us any other tidbits he may have found out while he was there. He did share some stuff in that video, but people are speculating that this is a. He says 28 centimeters straight from the source.
Wow. Okay. I'm laughing. Happy, Crazy, and Wise should be drunk by now. Thrustmaster. Yeah.
Drink up, buddy. And then if you added all the Thrustmasters that were in chat, man, you are hammered. You're going to be passed out drunk. So anyway, I'm supposed to talk to my Thrustmaster contact tomorrow, and I got a feeling he's not going to let me share anything that he tells me about that wheel. But I have heard Thrustmaster is going to be at E3, so maybe, John, you'll be able to get some more details on that setup. It'd be awesome if you could drive it at E3. So yeah, as soon as we find out more about that wheel, we'll let you guys know. The other thing I'm curious about is what pedals are going to come with that thing.
Yes,
I would think the pros.
Yeah, or do you think, or maybe would they upgrade the pros? I don't know.
Maybe a load cell.
Yeah, but no, it will be interesting to find out what exactly that is, and if that is a direct drive wheel, and also, well, regardless of whatever the motor is, what's the price point?
Yes.
Is this going to go and slot into where the T500 currently is? Maybe above it. I mean, I would like to think this is a T500 replacement, because the T500 came out with Gran Turismo 5.
Yes. Yes, and they no longer produce the T500. So, and maybe is this gonna, lots of speculation here. Maybe is this gonna slot into Club Sport wheel price range? Is that the target that they're looking for? I mean, it is GT branded though, but then again, when GT5 came out and the T500 came out, those things were selling out left and right. GT5 was selling out wheels throughout the industry. After GT5 came out, you couldn't get a G27, a DFGT, a Thrustmaster T500. Everything was completely sold out. So GT sells wheels for sure.
Absolutely. So I think we'll put a pin on that topic, and hopefully another day in the near future we'll get back to you on what exactly that is.
Tim, by the way, Spatial Dragon, the T500 came out at the same time as Gran Turismo 5, right around the same time. You have a a T500 branded GT6 or GT6 branded T500 box that came out later. That was a later edition. I will bet you guys money. Anybody want to bet me some money? As a matter of fact, if I win, make a donation. I'll bet you guys. I'll bet anybody $100 that the T500 came out right about the same time as Gran Turismo 5. Anybody want to take me up on that bet?
I don't.
Say it in chat. Did not come out with GT6. That is incorrect. Your box says GT6. There was a GT6 branded T500. But the T500 came out in 2011, same time as Gran Turismo 5. Anybody want to take that bet? Okay. Hey, Scott Holmes, my buddy Scott's in chat. How's it going, chat? How's it going, Scott? So what's our next subject here? What do we got? Automobilista.
Yes, so last week we talked about, they had a development blog and talked about things that were coming, and one of the #soon things was the Boxer Cup and VIR, and they are now both available, and those came out, and then there's a list of fixes that also came out that were pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. I didn't see anything that was revolutionary here. Some different graphical stuff, revisions, revised aero mapping in several cars, some HUD fixes, but for the most part, go ahead.
Increase maximum race lap or limit from 100 to 500, so you can run a lot longer races.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to mention. That's a interesting one.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
It is a big jump. But no, so the Boxer, not a Porsche, is now available. I'm sorry, Porsche.
No, it's not a Porsche.
What?
I'm just kidding.
That's it. After this whole, I thought, oh, got me going.
No, I was just messing with you, John. Anyway, yeah, no, what was he just talking about?
Porsches.
Oh, Porsche, Boxster, yeah. Sorry, I got to stop watching chat. I want to see if anybody want to take me up on my bet. No, it's not a Porsche, John. It's a Boxster.
Yes.
We don't want any Porsche lawyers going after Ritza.
Yes. Or us.
Well, wouldn't come after us.
I don't know. Formula One was going after anyone who promoted anything.
Well, back to that whole story too. They came after me. They didn't come after me, but there was people posting references to R Factor mods, F1 R Factor mods with images of like the real world liveries and stuff. And I got a cease and desist letter from FIA saying take this stuff down. And I told them, listen, that's not my stuff. That's just people posting in our forums. And they're like, we need you to take it down. So I took it down immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't mess around.
No, they do not. And as someone says with the EA Porsche deal, how much I hate it. Which again, I'm curious. Different topic here, but the whole rumor mill was that a license was going to expire sometime soon, and that was like a year ago.
Soon.
Hashtag soon, and still haven't heard anything. Last I checked.
Well, and then like Forza has, from what I understand, they've paid EA to do like that Porsche, DLC thing that they did, which is probably why it was like $20, because they ended up having to pay EA for that. So, that deal is just like never ending, and it's, EA isn't even doing any hardcore racing titles anymore. The last thing was Shift, which was the closest. Basically, that's pre-Project Cars from Slightly Mad, but they're using those cars in the Need for Speed garbage, and anyway. I know some people like the Need for Speed stuff, and actually some of those games are pretty fun. I can't say it's garbage. Those games are pretty fun for what they are. I mean, pure arcade. I mean, They are.
You just gotta know what it is.
Mother of all evil. I'm taking that from chat. I gotta say though, I used to be and still am a huge fan of EA because I have been a fan of the Madden games, the NHL games, and I played those religiously for years. And if you guys. I don't know if you guys knew this, but EA distributed the very first Indy 500. The Papyrus Indy 500 was distributed by EA. So, I'm not a huge EA fan as far as their racing stuff goes of late, or even pretty much ever. I've never really been a fan of anything titled EA except for that first Indy 500, but... how dare I? Need for Speed is awesome! I think the last one I played was maybe Hot Pursuit. I think we did a review of it, and it was, or I don't know, one of them, and it was fun. Nope, I didn't really like the NASCAR titles. I was more, and John, you probably did too, lean towards Papyrus, NASCAR 2003. Here goes my phone again, if you guys can hear it.
Well...
My new blue mic is picking up everything.
Man. So, before I got into sim racing, Papyrus, and NASCAR Racing 2003, I was big on the EA, the NASCAR Thunder. 2002, 2003, 2004. 2002, I think, was my favorite year. I didn't care for the other two. But no, I drove those religiously with the gamepad on... Were those PlayStation 2? I think so. But...
Possibly.
Yeah. But yeah, no, those were gateway drugs for me.
Well, you know what else too? I gotta say, I think it was F1 99, and Scott actually I know had a mod for this. and it's probably the mod that ended up leading to Simbin's GTR titles. That was like one of the first titles that was, and as far as I know, ISI developed that. The guys that did R Factor developed that version of F1, and it was moddable, which then turned into. People saying my mic sound is a bit harsh. What the hell? And we just can't go right with this mic. I'm going to turn it down even more, and then no one's going to be able to hear me. But yeah, F1 99, I think it was modded by what ended up turning into Simbin. Now is Sector 3. Anyway, I'm going to turn down my mic a little bit. Man, I'm already at 30%.
Well, your voice does project.
I know.
Much better than mine.
I need to whisper.
You got a question about the 18-speed shifter mod, the shifter knob. Any updates on that?
Thing's awesome. Those guys are supposed to send me a video on how to drive a split range. I'm not sure. Anyway, how to drive like the high-end 18-speed shifters. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. I have tried it just in my 10-speed mode. So basically, you're going first through sixth, and then you flip a switch, and then John, you're familiar with that. You tried it. We were using a button on the wheel to do that split, and it works great. It's awesome. It's nice to have it right on that shift lever. So I'm going to do a piece on it. I'll do a review on it, but I'm waiting to get back from those guys. They were supposed to do a tutorial on how to drive the shifter that way. So. Anyway, how you hearing me, John? Am I too loud still, or what?
No, you sound fine for me.
Okay.
Oh, but something to put a pin on just our little EA tangent went on. Yeah, those late F1, like late '90s F1 titles, those were very popular on the PC side and the modding side, and those had some life in them. And then. Speaking of when life was killed on the PC side, on the NASCAR side, when EA Sports got that official license, oh, I hated that so much. Because they killed Papyrus, and then they went and released just terrible games from there on out. At least on NASCAR side.
So people are saying my mic volume didn't change. Frickin' Skype, man. Here, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna turn it all the way down.
Oh, that definitely turned you down.
Hello.
I can still hear you, but not as much. So it's definitely down.
Maybe I need to just sit back a little bit.
Yeah, sit back, relax.
Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Actually, I'm going to do automatically adjust microphone setting. I'm going to try that for a little bit. And I'm just going to sit back here and just try to talk calm, cool, and collected.
You are listening to NPR.
You're listening to the cool sounds of Inside Sim Racing.
Oh, I wish I had just like a smooth jazz track just right on here.
Smooth jazz on Inside Sim Racing.
Okay, well, hopefully that's hopefully that's all fixed.
Now you are really quiet. Inside unprofessional. You know what?
Oh, I was wondering if you're going to do it.
No.
We'll eventually get there.
Too hot, too cold, too hot, too cold, too hot, too cold.
Yeah, say technical issues. Drink.
Yeah, maybe we should start that drinking game. Every time we talk about a technical difficulty.
Oh, you turned back down.
Yes, I did.
Maybe we need to start drinking with technical issues. I think that's where we're at.
Can you hear me, John? Hello?
I can hear you. You're lower, but I can hear you.
All right, let's just leave it there for now. Next subject.
The last in our short news week, I believe. The iRacing came out with this trailer for Imola, which will be showing up on, we're thinking about June 7th, June 8th, depending on when they release the next build. But that's the week 13 before season 3. And yeah, just a really awesome trailer. Definitely suggest to go, if you haven't seen it, go watch it because they did a really great job on it.
They did. It was really cool. Talking about the history of Imola and stuff, and that's where Ayrton Senna passed, and Roland Ratzenberg. Same race weekend. That was crazy that both those guys died there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this track. It's a fun track. I know it's in Assetto Corsa, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I do. This has become kind of become one of my go-to tracks in Assetto Corsa for just turning some laps. The more I drive it, the more I like it. So, no, looking forward to it. I love that tribute right there on the fence with the Brazilian flags and the flowers for Senna. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that was actually there when they scanned the track.
I'm guessing it was. You know how particular iRacing is about realism. I would imagine that it was.
Yeah, definitely a good chance. I mean, they are very particular. I remember when they scanned Circuit of the Americas, it's all set up for the United Sports Car weekend. It wasn't set up for the F1 weekend, so you had like a Crown Royal tent and stuff like that. It was all for the sports car race. So yes, very, very particular.
Yeah, and Rubens Barrichello crashed that weekend as well on Friday. He had a pretty bad crash. So yeah, that was a really bad weekend for racing. Two drivers lost their lives, one of the best drivers of all time. But anyway, back to the track. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That was a really cool piece that they did coming in the week through 13, Bill. So what's the date? June 6th? June 7th, right around there?
Yes. It's that Monday's June 6th. They normally release on Tuesday, Wednesday if things go to plan. Even though I think the last update, they were going to release on Tuesday and they moved it back to Wednesday because the NASCAR guys race Tuesday night, and it's kind of not fair to release a new build right on them before the race. So it might be Wednesday, but no, I mean, soon. We're almost end of May here, almost Indy 500 time.
Hashtag soon.
That's right.
Oh, Indy 500 this weekend.
Yeah, it is. And speaking of Indy 500, neither of us had a chance to go run it in iRacing, so
nope.
We were both busy.
Yeah, I would have liked to have. It was my birthday weekend, so I was busy doing nothing.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, John, I went to that steam plant place. I don't know if you ever saw that downtown. Anyway, we can talk about that later. Yeah, I didn't get to run it. John Ulmer didn't send me a setup either.
Oh, come on, John.
Really let me down. No, I'm just kidding. But no, not having a setup and no time on track. It just, I didn't want to mess up anybody else's race, and that's a long race to commit to too.
It is, and and speaking of Indy 500, not only did I not get a chance to run the race this past weekend, I totally screwed my chance of going to the track and watching Indy practice. I was like, okay, I'm busy this week. Maybe I can go to the track on Thursday. And then I looked at the schedule Sunday night and realized they only had practice this week on Monday, and then they have our carb day on Friday, which isn't anything to go watch because they mostly just make sure the car still works. So I totally blew it. And then I I had Monday practice going on here, and they were going like 3 wide for 3 hours. Like, it was amazing looking practice. So I'm kicking myself because I do this every year where I'm like, I'm just going to go, and they don't have practice. So big fail on Indy 500 this year for me. Hopefully next year it goes better when I'm not moving.
Big fail for John. Grabbing your guys' questions, by the way.
I'm glad.
How old am I? I am 28. Not 60. Draper, jackass. Stuff.
60. Come on.
48. I just turned 48. Congratulations, Happy, Crazy, and Wise. You managed a P4 in the 37th split. So congratulations.
They had 37 splits?
Probably
a lot of splits.
At least 30. At least 37. There could have been more. That's a lot of splits considering they had 4 different time slots too.
Yes.
Hold on, grab another question here. All right, let's move on.
So, next up, we got a little video that you put together, and I think I'm going to roll it and let you explain what's happening.
Yes, indeed. And working with the guys from Sim Experience, and they have got Sim Commander, Sim Vibe, and Motion working with the Xbox One and PS4, specifically Project Cars. And so, because Project Cars is the only console title that outputs UDP data. So as you can see here from the video, I am driving in a Radical at one of my favorite Project Cars courses, the California coast. And man, I was so impressed that I kept forgetting I was driving on the console. So, one of the amazing things about this too is that, so I did not have the motion controller or Sim Vibe connected directly to the Xbox. The data was coming through the Xbox One and the PS4 were wireless, and the data was going to my PC. And by the way, this is just phase 1 in their testing. This is all beta. This is all, again, helping the guys out at Sim Experience. Bernie knew I had a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One and had copies of both versions of Project Cars. Yeah, Gothic Villain, it would be nice if it was in triples, but it's not. But did you stop the video there, John?
Nope, still rolling.
Oh, that's me tuning. That's actually me tuning Sim Commander while I'm driving. See some rear traction loss kick out there. Anyway, it was. I didn't feel any lag, and again, the data was going through wireless network into my PC, which is hardwired.
And we were discussing earlier. It's essentially like if you guys have seen when I run the dashboard app on my cell phone, where it's all in the house wireless network. Yes.
Yeah. So it was impressive, man. So rear traction loss was working, all the motion, Sim Vibe. So this is something that Sim Experience is working on. They wanted me to. They allowed me, told me I could show this off on today's show. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future of Sim Commander is and what they're going to do as far as, motion, Sim Vibe, that kind of stuff on the console. And again, right now the only thing that works is Project Cars, but I know they're reaching out to some other developers to see if they can get UDP data outputted via the console. We know it's possible. We're seeing it right there. So anyway, pretty freaking cool, man. It was, something about this is just, it's really amazing how far consoles have come. And another thing I noticed too, driving the same car and track combo, PS4 was definitely looking better. PS4 looked closer to the PC, where the Xbox One a little more jaggy. Yes, Tom Jones, there are butt kickers on my rig. I had one on my pedal deck. I had to take it off because I had to put the T3PA pedals on it. It was right where my pedals were, but I have one under my seat. So I had butt kicker Sim Vibe working with the motion. So I was tuning all that stuff. Couldn't run the AccuForce because that you would need to plug right into the Xbox to get the wheel to work. But I would imagine the data, like if you're running Foundation, you can run the data, but the input, you wouldn't have the input. So, man, I'm not even going to get into it. Some dude is just whining and crying about the GT Sport coverage. Did ISR really put 2 different tires on a car at GTS and then complained about the game? Dude, get the out of here. If you're just going to moan and groan about, Mark had never tried Gran Turismo, okay? Never. He's mainly a PC racer. Just cut the bitching, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to get off my what's it called? My pedestal or my soapbox. Soapbox. Anyway, back to the motion. So yeah, would be great to to see all the titles support it. And have Sim Commander work with all console titles. I think SimVibe would be an awesome product for the console. So Anyway, yeah. What do you think, John? I mean, you didn't get to try it, obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean it's very cool. Like you're saying, someone had it here. I don't see the name. Under Kex GP said maybe Dirt Rally could do it on the consoles. Like that'd be a perfect title where you could go and get Sim Vibe and butt kickers and all that kind of stuff going. Especially because Dirt Rally, in a rally title, I mean it's cool to have triple screens to have just the sense of speed and all that, but it's not like my primary enjoyment from triple screens is being able to use the actual side mirrors and seeing the people I'm racing against. So, but rally racing, obviously you don't need that unless you're doing rallycross, but let's just say rally racing. So I think it's set up really well on one screen. So, and we drove it on the PS4, and Dirt Rally was great. It looked great, ran great. It's like, yeah, let's go and get this working, and you can have a pretty killer dirt setup on the console at a little more, I mean, let's just say a little more reasonable price point.
Yeah, and someone just asked, doesn't Assetto Corsa output UDP data? Yeah, on the PC it does. I don't know if it's going to on the console. It'd be great if it did. Anyway, the more titles that offer that, I mean, Project Cars has a bunch of like great dash apps and crew chief apps and all sorts of apps that work on the console, on the Xbox One and the PS4, and obviously on the PC. But yeah, Assetto Corsa, all PC titles output data, telemetry data, so that you can run motion and sim vibe and that kind of stuff. But to see it on a console, I mean, that is, got to hand it to Slightly Mad for being innovative and coming out with that, and so basically that opens the door for motion, sim vibe, all sorts of stuff, dash apps. So anyway, yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool that I was able to try that. And hold on, I'm getting another Q&A question here.
Nice. Oh, and to put a pin on that whole tire deal, Mark said here he inherited the settings like that, which normally when you go to these events, you don't mess with the settings because they're set up and you just drive them. And again, like I told someone before the show started in the comment section, these events aren't necessarily, you're not trying to turn the fastest speed ever. They're very difficult to use. A lot of times you're wearing shoes, you're in setups that aren't the best. It's loud, you can't hear anything. It's very distracting. At one point on that film, a camera guy was off screen because I cropped it. It was a camera guy like right in Mark's face filming him, which happens. So it's just kind of like, again, it's for a sneak preview, and everyone needs to understand that and not focus so much on the driving. It's just to give you guys a chance to see the title as early as possible. Yeah,
it is. I mean, John, you've now experienced it. I mean, I've been doing this for years, going to these trade shows, and it's not easy to drive in that environment. And again, you don't get to do any tuning. And Mark inherited that setup from somebody else that was in the sim before that, or the rig. So, cut Mark some slack, guys.
Yeah, you don't have time to go in there and dick around with the settings. You have to you set up the film, you got to get in there, drive, get out, let someone else come in.
Yep.
So
exactly.
that's not up to him to be messing around with that. So
yeah. Tom,
relax.
And Tom, to answer your question, no, it is not the best environment to really get a feel for the game. I mean, you have sometimes just a couple minutes to get your impressions, and then there's a line. One of the good things about having media access, and this was a media event, but like at E3, John, you're going to find this out. They will let you go to the front of the line. Our media badges, which you now have, congratulations again. Anyway, you'll be able to go to the front of the line, but a lot of times, like Forza 6 at E3 last year, I got to drive, and it was like a one-lap race. I finished it, and I'm like, guys, can I do one more? And they're like, yeah, hurry up, come on, just go ahead and do one more really quick. But basically, I got to drive 2 laps. So anyway, it is not the best place to test out a title. And anybody that really comes back from an E3 event like that, any gaming media, whatever, that can give impressions, I don't know how they can, because a lot of times it's just
they're making it up.
Yeah, you just don't have time. I also want to touch on another question based on the stage 4. Hold on, someone was asking. Oh, Big Belly Gamer wants to know, why do I still use butt kickers with the stage 4? Initially I wasn't, and for the iRace for Life seminar, the stage 4 that I was tuning for had 2 butt kickers on it. So I basically was creating profiles that mirrored what was going to be at iRace for Life. And now, after I spent the time to install them, I'm glad I did, because it gives me extra engine vibrations. It gives me more shift clunk. It also allows me to have road textures and vibrations up at the front of the rig. So it just kind of rounds things out a little bit more. Actually, the guys at Sim Experience sent me 4 butt kickers so I could do full chassis mode. I haven't been able to set that up yet because I don't have an amp, but it definitely still it adds more of an enhancement, more immersion. So that's why I'm running it and continue to, and it was nice, especially to be able to test it out, test out the console, to see how SimVibe was working on that. So anyway, yes, still running butt kickers and will continue to, and then eventually I'm going to do chassis mode and extensions mode. There goes my phone again, man. That thing's just, my phone's blowing up. Yeah, and Avenja just pointed out, butt kickers work great with motion. They fill in the finer details. That perfect way to put it.
Yep. So, transitioning. Other happenings that was happening. Let's see, what do I got here? In case you haven't noticed, someone last week made a comment. We were talking about getting videos out, and someone made a comment that quantity has a quality to itself. Well, if you want quantity, I think we had like 8 videos released since the live show last week. We got Otto's iRace for Life session, the Forza Motorsport 6 NASCAR review that Billy did a really great job on. The TMX review, I got that out on Saturday. The wheel was released on Friday. We had the piece that Mark did with the Thrustmaster GT wheel unveiling. Wyatt Gooden GT3 setup tips, and I saw someone had a question or made a comment. The third and final addition to that video trilogy is coming. I don't know, pretty soon. We got it up on YouTube. We just got to make it public.
Yep. Just kind of spacing them out.
Yep, exactly. We had a couple of those GT Sport videos yesterday, which is why we're having all this conversation now. And then this morning, Billy did a test drive, a set of course Japanese pack, which came out really good. Billy did a live commentating on it versus commentating later, and did a really nice job because it's not easy talking and driving. And
that's very difficult.
Yeah, and actually the AI is looking better. I was actually fairly impressed watching that video. It was some decent racing at
it was
Imola, yeah.
Imola. Yeah, it was well, I think we're up over 20 videos this month, John.
Yeah, been putting them out.
Pumping them out. Pump it out. And then we, like John mentioned, we've got the which I think was the best Wyatt Gooden video of the 3 that he did, or classes that he did. It's advanced setup tuning in the Reno Formula Reno 2.0. And like John said, we've got it uploaded. We just got to make it live. We were just kind of trying to space them out so we weren't pumping out a bunch of videos on one day. So I'll probably get that out in the next day or so. And then going to go on to, I've already finished a Ray Alfala and David Cater show. Going to put that out next. So anyway, yeah, we're getting through. And then you have 2 interviews too still that you're going to do from iRace for Life, John, and then a couple of recaps.
Yep, 2 interviews, a recap. Just splitting that up was getting that TMX review out since that came out, and the first video out of the new studio. So I think that that came out well.
Yeah, you did a good job on that. And then, and Mark is also working on a GT Sport recap.
Ah, nice.
And
nice.
Mark, as you've seen, you better watch what you say there, buddy. Gran Turismo fanboys are going to freaking hunt you down and burn your house down.
With your Oculus on.
With your VR, yeah, you're gonna be running your Oculus, Mark, and you're not gonna know that your house is burning down.
I like to. Oh, but someone called Mark a iRacing fanboy earlier, and I was like, please, Assetto Corsa.
Yeah, he is not an iRacing fanboy, that's for sure. By the way, grabbing your questions, guys. I'm putting them in Google Docs here for John and I to answer. So what do we got next, John? More happenings.
More happenings. I got a new box to the house yesterday, and I'm going to try to show it. It's kind of big, so I'm not going to be able to hear you, Darin. You guys still should be able to hear me. We'll see how this goes. Maybe
I got your back.
Okay, perfect. So, it's so weird now taking this off. I got the Acer Predator monitor that we talked about last week. And there's a good shot of it. But yes, another 35-inch curved monitor. Oh, it's like exercises.
That thing's bigger than John.
But yes, so that is the Z35, and I know Darren's making comments, I can't hear him. That's the Z35 monitor, and yeah, we'll have a review coming of that shortly. I haven't unboxed it yet because I want to film the unboxing of it. But yeah, excited. That's another fancy 35-inch, 2560 by 1080, 144 hertz. I was wrong last week. G-Sync. So,
I said while you were gone, I said the box is bigger than you.
Oh my god, it is. These boxes that they put these monitors in are insane. So yeah, excited to unbox that and try it out here sooner than later. And when I do, I'll post some pics up on the socials.
Yeah, I was hoping that John could get 2 more of those so that he could end up boxing either those back up, because I'd honestly rather have those than the BenQs just because of the G-Sync feature. But I was thinking, man, if he gets 2 more of those, box them BenQs, ship them back here to Washington, and they'll go on replace those 27s I got back there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. We'll see. I hope they go good, and if they are good, then. Or it is good.
What I really want you to do with those is do a side-by-side. Well, you're not going to be able to do side-by-side. You're going to have to swap back and forth. But, same car, same track on your PC, and see how that G-Sync, performs. Same exact graphic settings and everything, but just turn G-Sync on. And I'm really curious to hear your take, because we got to run G-Sync for the first time at iRace for Life, and I think we talked about this on the show last week, and I was running down like close to 60 frames a second, and I didn't notice a difference. It seemed like I was running at 120 frames like I usually do or more, and it seemed like it seemed like it wasn't missing a beat, and I wasn't getting any input lag. So I'm really curious to hear your take on that.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Looking forward to that. The G-Sync, and then right now, this is as I mentioned before, the system I use for the live show has a FreeSync monitor and AMD card, and I definitely want to do a show on FreeSync and talk about that as well. So, yep, definitely more of that kind of stuff coming your guys' ways. Oh, and then also, I don't even know if I should mention it because it hasn't been all figured out, but one of the fans of the show, and I'm forgetting his name, and I apologize, emailed me after last week's show saying that he's in Columbus and has an Oculus CV1, and that he'd be willing for me to check it out, or maybe I can get it over here. So might have to work that out and see if we can maybe if I can check that out and maybe get a review out.
That would be awesome. That'd be really cool if you could get that done. I think, and speaking of back to Sim Experience, those guys said they were getting, I think it was the CV1, and they told me they would send it over to me to test as well. So yeah, nice. we want to get on VR and test it out with the newest, check out the newest versions of VR and see how it compares to the DK2. And John, you've never tried it, so I'm really looking forward to hearing your take on it. Someone was just saying too, back to your monitor, Deadpool was saying you should have gotten the Acer X34. It's way better than the Z35.
Yeah, the Z35 is what they sent me. I think I was hoping for the X34. I think the X34 is like, I don't know if it's 4K or I think maybe it's 2K. It might be a 1440 versus a 1080. Yeah, I mean it's. I think that's the difference. And then of course it's a 34-inch versus a 35. But I think they're similarly priced though.
Yeah, Brent Owen just said Acer X34 $1,239. So that's going to be another big difference is price between the BenQ monitors and that Acer, because the Acers are both of them. It sounds like the Z35 and the X34 are over $1,000, where you can get the BenQ 34s or 35s for $899. That was the last price I saw them at.
Yeah.
Dutch Legend, I got your question. We'll get to it. So what do we got next?
So next up, you have an unboxing.
Yeah, you know what? I already unboxed them. Because I'm glad I did, because I would have been sitting here for a half an hour taking them out of the packaging. So anyway, I've been talking to Derek Spear at Derek Spear DSD, Derek Spear Designs, and check out these cool button panels in ISR orange and black.
That is nice.
I got 2 of them. So basically they connect to the AccuForce, and he sent the hardware. I got a little baggie of hardware that he sent with him. And, I got to say, these buttons are some of the best. Let me do a little close-up here for you guys. These are some of the nicest buttons I've seen on a button box. And definitely a higher quality of button than Derek's used in the past. And it's got some encoder knobs, some toggle switches, and then this side, lost my earbud here, hold on. I need to get an extension for my earbuds. Some more encoders, big fat DSD button right there, and some more of those nice clicky high-tech buttons, some more toggles, and then some toggles there. Actually, it's supposed to go this way. So 2 USB ports, 1 on each one. These were like a limited edition, these colored ones. John, you got the website?
Yeah, let me pull the website up here, which it's saying sold out on some of these. Yeah,
these were like CSW, so Club Sport Wheel, and there's pictures of what it looks like on the AccuForce.
Yeah, there they are.
I'm wondering if they're going to be in stock again, or if maybe he's sold out and then he's got to make some more. But if you go, I don't know if you can navigate back on his homepage. There's he has a closeout, and
Let me go to
those.
the homepage.
Yeah, there you go. Do some live browsing here. Let's click at the top there, John. We have many. Yeah.
Up,
No, down that blue text. Yeah, click on that blue text, and then scroll down, and you'll see my orange ones that are no longer in stock because I have them. But these were $595. So these were limited edition ultra panels. I think they were prototypes, and I think there's maybe only 1 or 2 of those left. But man, I can't wait to hook this up. I'm gonna be able to use it in the Nordschleife, 24 hours of Nordschleife. I can't wait to connect these to the AccuForce. The AccuForce isn't even on my rig right now because I was running the console, like you guys saw. I gotta put it back on and do some other testing. But
hey, Darin, you able to control chat?
Yeah, why?
Go ban Board Game Master. We're done.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good. I don't have that over here, so we can have a good show for the stream.
Yeah.
And actually, while you're at it, we might need to add some more moderators.
Yeah, Wim was in here. Did he leave?
He must have, but I know a couple other guys who could probably be moderators.
Yeah, we could get Mark.
Exactly. I think Mark and Billy could be moderators.
Mark's part of the team. So anyway, yeah, I got those yesterday, and and again, I'm glad I unboxed them, man. If I could turn the camera down and show you, there was some serious bubble wrap and packaging. It took me a good 10 minutes to unwrap them. So, anyway, I'd like to thank Derek Spear for sending those over, and I'm going to do a review on them. Going to have them on the Stage 4 on my AccuForce here very soon. Actually, I got to take off. I don't know if you guys can see. There's a button box down there. I'm going to have to remove that. Might have to label this one up with my P-Touch too. John, are you jealous?
I am. That is really nice. I mean, what is so that orange part is that just what is that?
It's a like a light metal. I was curious about that too. I thought maybe it was plastic, but it's metal. It's got a little carbon plate on it. Back is the box is plastic.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's got a USB port on both.
So is that orange metal part? Do you think that's like a powder coat? Or do you think it's just paint?
Yeah, it looks like it's powder coated. I don't know if it's like, it's not like Stage 4 powder coating, but it's a gloss paint. And maybe I can get a little closer. You can see it.
No, I mean it looks really great. So that's cool. I mean, it definitely looks like. I mean,
Although you can see some reflection on it there.
Yeah. Okay, I can see it there. Yeah. No, I'm glad it's quality because it's definitely pricey, but it's nice.
Yeah, I'd say. $600 is pretty pricey, but it's, the buttons and everything, and I think some of it lights up too. I think maybe these buttons might light up. I know the big one does. This one over here. Anyway, when I get it all set up, I'll show you guys. Maybe we'll have it on next week's show. Tell you guys what I think about it. So what other happenings we got, John?
So let's see. The only other happening we have is I figured we let people know that we're going to kind of be trying out a new review style for titles, and it's going to start with Dirt Rally, where essentially we're going to try to do a live review with a few of us. I know at least for this first one we're talking me, Darin, and Billy, since he's done a lot of driving on Dirt Rally. But yeah, we're going to kind of go through a review system where we talk about different topics, give different rankings, stuff like that, and we try to do it all live.
Oh, Wim is back, and I think that jackass came back as somebody called the Truth. I got a feeling. Can we all guess his age? Let's take a guess of the Truth and Board Gamer's age. Under 15? No
Probably.
Offense for under 15 out there. Anyway, Wim banned his ass too.
Nice.
Keep coming back. I'm sure he's going to come back as another name. So yeah, back to. I'm sorry for changing subjects there. So yeah, we're going to try out a new live review format. Did you mention Billy's going to join us?
Yep.
And see what you guys think. We'll schedule it so you guys will know. And sorry if you said any of this, John, but we'll schedule it so you guys know when it's coming, so you can join us in chat. And anyway, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a cool way to maybe do future reviews, because then we can bust through all the topics, physics, graphics, sound, and then ask or answer questions and get your guys' opinion while we're doing a review. So
yeah, we're definitely trying to do it where we're a little more on top of new releases and we can kind of just get something out quicker. And then also we kind of talked about there's probably going to be multiple reviews. There might be like a day one review, like what's our initial, what do we think right now? And then let's go for a couple weeks and then maybe a month or two and let some patches come out and let's kind of circle back. But by doing a live thing and a little less scripted, might be able to get a little more content out quicker to you guys and give you our opinion.
Yeah. And again, do it kind of interactive where we're answering your guys' questions and getting your opinion, as well. Because I love hearing your guys' opinion, when we're doing the live show. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to doing that, and we're going to try for this week. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to it this week, but if not, hopefully next week. And again, we'll try to schedule it. We'll post it in the forums, social media, that kind of stuff, so you guys have a chance to join us live for the review. So anyway. Are we on to Q&A now? Actually, let's talk about the poll.
Yeah, let's talk about the poll question. I messed this up. I was going to bring this up earlier, and I missed it. But the poll question this week is your impressions of GT Sport. As always, up in the upper right-hand corner, click on the eye icon, and you can and participate in the poll. I don't remember exactly what all I said, but I think some of the possible responses are you're impressed, you're wait a little bit. I think I had one in there where just like
I got him here. Very
Oh.
impressed, optimistic, on the fence, disappointed. No way I'm getting it now. I am going to vote optimistic. And you want the results so far, John?
Sure.
8% very impressed, 32% optimistic, 34% on the fence, 18% disappointed, and 8% no way I'm getting it now.
Wow, that's pretty spread out actually.
Yeah, it is. By the way, when you're up in that little eye over there, if you guys could kick down a little donation, buy some Starbucks coffee, or in John's case, some Red Bulls.
I don't drink Red Bulls. I drink 5-hour energies.
Oh, sorry.
Even
Sorry.
worse for me. The other day, I didn't realize till recently you're supposed to like only once you open it, only use it for like 72 hours or something. I had one sitting around for a while, and I dumped it out, and the stuff comes out looking like jet fuel. It's like, is this supposed to be clear?
This shit is jet fuel, man.
It pretty much is. It's so bad. I'm trying. I'm getting a little better at it. But yep, that's our poll question for this week. It'll be interesting to see where we're at. And as always, let's recap last week's poll question. And the question was, do you race wired or wirelessly? And the responses were 79% wired, 19% of you are on wireless and it works fine, and then 1% of you are on wireless and you hate it, and as usual, 1% is just confused and lost. rounding. But yeah, so not surprising that 79% of you are on wired connections, and but it is interesting to see that 19 of the 20% who voted wireless said it works fine, and I do want to do a show on that, because I just bought that wireless dongle adapter, whatever it's called. I showed on last week's show. I did finally purchase it yesterday, I believe. So that'll be showing up, and I do want to kind of do a show showing that, and seeing how well I can run wirelessly here.
Now I'm curious, are you running wireless on this connection?
No, this one is wired, and I'm gonna keep it wired. The
Yeah.
live show, I don't want to run wirelessly.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, but racing wise, like I said, I went years running wirelessly with no problems. So I think that'll be a cool little video to show, because we have gotten that question a number of times. It does come up, people getting into it, or just moving, and it's just impossible unless they run a wire across the whole house.
Well, and I think just in general, wireless has gotten better. I mean, look at I was running through a wireless connection on the stage 4. I was running motion through that, and then another thing is I do a lot of my all my PlayStation 4 gaming. My Battlefront, my Star Wars Battlefront. That's all online multiplayer, and I'm doing that wireless. So wireless connections have definitely gotten a lot better. The wireless technology, just in general. Sure, you have more of a chance for it to have issues, but happy, crazy, and wise, I can't iRace wirelessly. A lot of it probably depends on how far you are from your router too.
Yes.
If you're in the same room, so all this motion stuff I was doing, everything's right here in the man cave. So I would imagine that if I was porting, if I was, let's say the router was upstairs, so basically that motion data was having to go up to the router and then back into my PC, there would have been some lag there. So anyway, yeah, the technology's gotten better. And then there was that other what was it, power adapter?
Yes.
And I looked into that. That was like $70, and you have to be on the same circuit. So if you're running that power line adapter, or whatever it's called, to where you basically are running through your electrical system, through your electrical outlets, you have to be on the same circuit for that to work, and those are about $80. So I think that'd be a cool test to see, the difference between, do some ping tests, do some racing, and see what happens. And again, I think since you're in the same room, you'll be fine.
I do think so. I think being in the same room is pretty key to it.
Yeah. And my Battlefront name, I think, is D Ganji. I think it's D Ganji 11. I haven't played any Battlefront. I've been playing Uncharted 4. Getting Tom Jones. Tom Jones is just full of questions today.
Yeah, he's got some good ones.
Yeah.
So how about I kick off the Q&A with a question got on Twitter earlier today, which
sounds good. Yeah, John, I'm going to step away just for a second, guys. I got to go get a drink of water. I'm a little parched. So I will be right back. John, you go ahead and take a question or two, and I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Oh, and as Larry said, don't forget a thumbs up. We appreciate that. We get thumbs up for kicking annoying people out of chat earlier. See, that kind of good stuff. Maybe not a thumbs up for our delay start, but we eventually got going. But let's see. Pete Terraform asked, do you think if Thrustmaster added a handbrake to their ecosystem, it would sell? He said, I'd buy one. We got this question a lot over the last 6 months, and I kind of always said, well, they probably won't come out of the handbrake because you can do the handbrake option in the not T3PA, the TH8A shifter. But it keeps on coming up, and I kind of think that at some point Thrustmaster might make one, and I hope they do, because I think it would sell, and I think there's certainly a market for it. Darin has the Fanatic one over on his rig, or at least had it on. I'm not sure if it's on anymore, and that one worked pretty well. But there just continues to seem to be this market for handbrakes, and I wouldn't be surprised if Thrustmaster at some point here says, okay, fine, we'll do one.
So I know what question that was. Yeah. I think it would go over well. You know how many people ask me about handbrakes for the Thrustmaster? I mean, I probably get that question once a week. So yeah, I think it would go over well. I think they're making a handbrake. I don't think it's going to sell like the TH8A does, but I think it'd be another great option for them. Hello.
Yeah, I agree.
You
want me to read the next one?
No, I got the next one. Wayne Francis. They have photorealistic graphics on the console. Why are us PC gamers losing out on this damn we have the most powerful hardware? I think it's going to depend on what hardware you're running. To get, you're running triples. If you're running triples, you're going to lose out on some graphic quality for sure. You may not be able to max everything out, but I think it just really depends on your system. Like I was mentioning earlier, I ran the PS4 Project Cars on both, and it looks like to me Project Cars was optimized a lot better for the PS4, and the PS4 is a more powerful system. So that's a good question.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know if I agree with the sentiment of the question. I don't think the PC is losing out. I just think the console developers they market more of the stills, the images, the screenshots of these graphics. But I think if you go and you play, back to back for almost every title, it's gonna be better on a PC if you have a quality PC. I will say Dirt Rally kind of caught me by surprise how good it looked on the PlayStation 4. And I thought it was pretty comparable to at least what I could run on the PC. But normally everything else, it looks a lot better on the PC. It's just not promoted as much. So it comes across that maybe the PC developers don't care or whatnot. But I think if you have a quality PC, it's going to look better than the console. It's just not marketed. The PC guys want to hear more about physics and stuff like that.
Yes. Real quick, I'm going to answer the questions because I was gone, and I'm going to move out of the way. Someone was asking what that weird joystick is behind me. That's the shifter, or the truck shifter. It's on a TH8A. So someone was questioning what that was behind me.
Gotcha.
You take the next one, John.
I'm laughing at Happy, Crazy, and Wise. Obado, what's your favorite version of the Nordschleife, iRacing, Race Room, Project Cars, and why? I've not tried iRacing yet, and I think Project Cars is better as it handles the elevation changes better. Project Cars, I hate to burst your bubble, is my least favorite. I think of all of them, it stands alone in terms of how it feels, and I think because it's not right. I just don't feel like the elevations are right in it at all. Like I prefer, from what I remember, I prefer the Gran Turismo version of it better. But it's not laser scan like the other ones, and I think the other three are definitely comparable. They have, as I did that video, a couple videos where I kind of compared and contrast iRacing, Race Room, and Assetto Corsa. They have their differences, but they're all pretty good. But of all those, Project Cars is the one where I've driven it, and I just kind of go, ugh, I don't enjoy it. So, favorite, I don't know. They're all very good.
Yeah, and I haven't even driven the Race Room one yet. I've driven Assetto Corsas, I've driven iRacings, I've driven Project Cars. It's been a while since I've driven Project Cars. It's not bad, especially if you haven't driven one of the laser scan versions, the Project Cars version. But if you're looking for realism, it's not laser scan. So, he said that. He feels that the elevation changes are better, maybe because they're not realistic. Maybe they are more exaggerated. So, next question, Tom Jones. Tom Jones is the Q man today.
He says, John, I assume you tried Darin's AccuForce. I don't think I ever saw a video where you gave your thoughts on it. Your thoughts? The AccuForce review, I gave my thoughts on, but no, I mean it's.
No, I think I did that one solo.
Was it? I swear there was one of them where I gave my thoughts on it. I don't know. Maybe that was first look, or maybe that was solo as well. But anyway, no. I mean, it's a very good wheel. It's what separates that wheel from the rest. And I did get a chance to try the OSW at iRace for Life. And as I said then, it's a little hard to tell because so much of those wheels are dependent on the software tuning. Tuning makes all the difference, but Darin's got that wheel dialed in, and the AccuForce that is, and it feels real. I mean, it feels great. I mean, it's amazing all the different feedback that it gives, and of course, it can turn up high on force feedback and it's smooth. But for me, I don't crank the force feedback up unless I'm driving an Indy car because all these other cars they don't crank the force feedback up. I don't think it's realistic. But in terms of the feedback you get of the bumps and the curves and being able to catch things, it is really impressive.
And I agree with that. Next question. I get it. I'll get it. Actually, they're asking you, Jamal Gandor. John, would you please either post the name of the song in the GTS trailer or simply guide us to a link?
I don't know. I don't think they posted the name of the song in the video.
Isn't there some program that you can play a song and it'll give you the name of it?
Yeah, that's what is that called? Yes, there are apps out there. Just search it. I'm drawing a blank on it. But
next question, JMCT. Is the Obutto Revolution good enough to use a small midgy OSW? Thank you guys. Great channel. Thank you for the compliment. Should be. The Revolution's built like a tank, so I don't see why it wouldn't work. I'd say that's definitely a rig that would hold up great to that. And John, you can take the next one.
One thing I do want to jump real quick. I'm seeing in chat just because it's there. People talking about Kartcraft coming up soon, saying next week, and I'm not sure if it. I think it is next week. I know just Billy jumped in June 2nd. I don't know if they officially confirmed yet. I saw something the other day that they said it would definitely be out by the end of June. So I don't know if that's been quite figured out yet, but definitely looking forward to trying that out, and we'll be on that when that comes to early access. People asking if there's triple screen support and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I don't think that's been stated. A lot of things haven't been stated.
That program's there's one called Shazam. Now this is going to date you, John. Or not going to date you. It's going to date me. Do you know the superhero Shazam? Have you ever heard of that, John?
I've heard of it.
When I was a kid, that was like a Saturday morning television show with some goofy superhero. And his name was Shazam. I remember he wore red and yellow with a big old frickin' lightning bolt on his chest. Who remembers Shazam out there? Anybody? Anyway, so that's the name of that program that lets you figure out the name of a song.
Perfect. Let's see. We
Deadpool.
already got Deadpool. Well, question to Darin and John. Why do you guys think weather and day-night races in more sims today? You think technology we have today that it will be standard? I mean, there's a lot of technology, but I mean there's a lot to it. I don't think it's quite like, snap your fingers and here we go with transitions or weather.
Yeah.
I think he's asking everything, weather and day-night.
No, Shaq wasn't Shazam. Shazam lived in a Winnebago. That's right. Hong Kong Phooey. Everybody's naming some stuff from my childhood.
I did watch Hong Kong Phooey.
Tim, Apex V-Gear. I remember it. Such a dorky show. It's so funny, man. You go back and watch shows from when you were a kid, and as a kid you thought that was the shit, and you go back and watch it now, you're like, oh my god. That is so horrible. What did I see in that? But as a kid, you're just looking at the world in a different way. Like there was another show that was on when I was like a teenager, The Greatest American Hero. Did you ever see that or hear about that, John?
I heard about that. I've never seen that one.
Some teacher that got struck by lightning or something and turned into a superhero. Anyway,
Sounds about right. Sounds like what, these like 70s?
Yeah, that was actually early 80s. Was
Early 80s?
Greatest American Hero. Oh, man, I remember the song. I'm not going to sing it. Next question. Oh, so let's go back to that one. So
yeah.
So Deadpool talking about weather and day to night. I'm not as concerned about weather. I mean, I really don't want to drive in the rain, to be honest. I mean, I think it'd be cool.
I do. Except I want the puddles to dissipate, unlike in Forza Motorsport 6, where the giant puddles are there the whole time.
They just stay there, yeah. I like the hydroplaning feature of that.
Yeah.
Day to night is something I really want to see. R Factor had it, and we used to run endurance races with it, and having it transition from day to night was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in a sim race. And, and a lot of times night taxes your system, so you had to make sure your system was set up to be able to handle the day and the night portions of the race. I'm hearing something upstairs. I better go check on that. Make sure Charlie's not like getting
going through a couch.
Yeah. Anyway, though, day to night transitions in a sim race. I mean, that's something I would love to see. Like imagine John, the 24 hours in Nordschleife. Day to night transition.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be awesome going through the trees. Yeah. No, I mean, they're both things I want to see. It's just I understand why we don't see them, because there's a lot of things that have to happen in terms of the back end of the sim, and then of course the graphical side. I mean, there's a lot to that. So I think it's pretty impressive, the titles that do have the day transitions. I like Assetto Corsa. I think does it really well, and I always find that really enjoyable when I'm running a longer session. You know what?
It's funny. Before we went live, someone was talking about I'm here to get my nerd on, for the show, and then somebody's like, "I mean, what do you mean? Nerds don't like racing?" And so we start mentioning superheroes.
And down the rabbit hole we go.
Down the nerd rabbit hole we go. Hey, and I'm first to admit I'm a nerd when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, I love superhero stuff, and talking about playing Star Wars Battlefront. I mean, John, you and I are both huge Star Wars fans, so
yes,
We are definitely nerds. But you know what? The cool nerd sim race.
Yeah.
Right, John?
And touch your glasses all the time. Drink.
Yeah, $6 million man. Hell yeah. That show was Steve Austin. A man barely alive. We can rebuild him. Dun, 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 dun. All right, next question. Naive question from Christopher Draper. Do all the butt kickers and other equipment you have running have an effect on frame rate? Not that I've ever noticed.
No, it's separate. Two separate things going on, really.
Well, I can see maybe running Sim Vibe, with Sim Commander, that it potentially could have an effect.
It's something else your processor has to run.
Yeah, but Sim Commander is using very little processing power. I've actually done check Task Manager, and I've never noticed a frame rate hit. I guess we could do a test going back and forth to see, to see see if there is a difference. But anyway, I've never noticed any problems or any frame rate issues. Charlie's starting to wind up. I hear him.
Hey, happy, crazy, and wise. I don't know what your Q&A question is. You have to ask it again.
Hold on.
Let's see.
No, I don't see it.
Michael Schumann here. Are you guys looking forward to Farming Simulator at E3? It's a new iRacing killer. LOL.
That's on the top of John's list.
If it's there, I'm trying it. Like, there better be like a John Deere tractor. I want to VR it in the tractor. Let's do this.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome doing it in like a motion simulator.
It would be just kind of bumping along.
Yeah, crazy, happy, crazy, and wise. Repost your question so we can get it. Because I'm not seeing it either. I can't scroll back. I could, but it could take a while. Next one, Nigel Benton. Any advice, suggestions on how I can persuade my wife that it would be a good idea to buy a rig? I need to sell the idea to her. Maybe you just need to buy it and see what she says. Look what showed up today in the mail, honey. Those guys at Inside Sim Racing sent it to me for free.
There you go. We'll be.
Make sure she doesn't see that credit card bill.
Yeah, we'll be the alibi on that one. If you want to say we sent it.
I know a friend that will remain nameless because just in case his wife is watching, used a separate credit card to do that.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, here I got his question. Happy, crazy, and wise. We'll get to that.
Okay, I like this. Ask for forgiveness. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not married yet. I showed up with all this junk. So.
Yeah, you are married. What do you mean?
Essentially.
You just haven't put a ring on her finger and walked down the aisle yet.
Exactly. Let's see. Next question. Larry Yingling. Been thinking of getting a CSW V2 or the AccuForce. People say direct drive is huge for the AccuForce. What exactly is the difference?
You want me to take that?
Yes.
So, direct drive, basically, think of the motor here with the shaft coming out. Come on, get your minds out of the gutter.
Screenshot.
And then the wheels attached. So that's direct drive. You're not losing any fidelity or any of the torque by going through a gear or a belt drive mechanism. So direct drive, basically you're attached right to the force feedback motor, servo motor, stepper motor, whatever you want to call it. So again, you have the potential of stronger force feedback, higher fidelity. There's just a lot of advantages to having a direct drive wheel, especially in AccuForce, where there's just infinite ways to tune it. So, John, I'll let you answer this question because I own an AccuForce. But if you had your choice between an AccuForce and a CSW V2, which one would you go with?
I think it would come down to funds. Forget
the funds.
Well, forgetting funds, I get the AccuForce. But yeah, if funds are a thing, then It depends where you're at. I think the CSW is a really good wheel. I think it gets a little gray when you get towards the CSW and the hub and a rim. You get towards that $1,000 price point, and you at that point you're getting about getting over halfway to the AccuForce, and that's when it kind of gets like, yeah, I don't know. If you kind of have the funds, I think you make the leap, and it also depends if you're driving any on the console. Because CSW you can drive all three, but PC only. If you're PC only, and yeah, we're not talking any like money issues. I would say the AccuForce, but they're both very good wheels.
Yeah. Well, and you can get the standard AccuForce for $12.99, so that you don't get the button or the paddles and all that stuff, but that does put you closer to CSW range. So, it really depends on your budget and, how realistic you want to get. Do you want to run the console or not? So, there's a lot of other variables that get thrown into the mix there, too.
Yep. Let's see. There was a question I just want to grab. Exhausted Gamer said he got the GT Omega RS9 seat for a month now, and it's pretty good. You guys still going to get a review seat? I haven't actually done the reaching out to ask that yet, so... hopefully here one day, but I haven't done a good job of following up on that.
For who?
The RS9 GT Omega seat.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to meet with Leo at GT Omega about a week ago, and he never got back to me. So, next question.
Dutch
Racing Legend 13.
Let's see. Did you guys have a go at VIR and Automobilista yet? Have not. I was going to this morning because I wanted to capture some footage for the show, and I have not tried it yet. So that's on the to-do list because I want to see how that version of VIR holds up. I want to see how bad I am in the Boxer because I'm terrible. My history is terrible at rear engine pseudo Porsches. So I kind of want to see how I do there. So that is on the plan to fire that up, but I have not tried that yet.
Someone asked, for some reason our logo is not on our ISR TV store anymore, but someone asked, is there a way to search for a particular product through our Amazon ISR TV store? I think if you just click on a product, no, it takes you. I think you have to add something to your shopping cart and then go searching in Amazon separately. I'll have to look into adding that feature to be able to search for a particular product through our store.
Yeah, I noticed that. That would be nice to have that feature.
So I'm just going to try searching for Thrustmaster, but I think you have to select a category.
Yeah. Thrustmaster.
Please select a search category. So. Anyway, we'll look into to adding that. Again, that was something we just put up quick and dirty, and already looks like it's broken. Our logo is not showing up for some reason like it used to, like it was when I first created it. Actually, another way you can do it too is if you go into the description of our show and just click on any of those Thrustmaster items for sale that we have, it takes you directly to Amazon, and then you're buying something under our affiliate program, which we would greatly appreciate. Funds go towards buying John some more 5-hour energy drink.
Let's see. There was one I just wanted to grab, and I lost it, and I don't remember what it was.
Question?
So, yeah, it's a question, but that's okay. Let's go back to the list here. Let's see. Wayne Francis, does G-Sync have input lag like V-Sync? It's supposed to not. That's supposed to be the whole selling point of it. It's like if V-Sync worked properly. What I've gathered. So we'll find out in person.
Yeah, it's from what I've read about it too, and trying G-Sync, no, you don't have the lag that V-Sync. V-Sync adds a ton of lag. So by the way, guys, if you're racing in V-Sync, don't, because you're adding a bunch of input lag. You may think that you're getting better frame rates or it might look smoother, but in reality, you're just adding a bunch of input lag. So
Yep.
I would shy away from that at all costs. Um,
How about we take a handful more, and then I gotta go because it's a 5-year-old's kindergarten graduation tonight,
Uh-oh.
and I gotta go sit through that for a couple hours.
Hey, no, that sounds good.
Enjoy that.
Yeah. Shame on you, stepdad. No, let's do that. Let's just take one more each, and then we'll get out of here. We're almost coming up on 2 hours anyway, so you take one, I take one.
Let's see. This is a good one because I've been thinking about this the last couple of days. Tom Jones asked, last one I swear. How often do you guys sim race for fun or not just for the show? Recently, not as much, especially because of the move. I just haven't had things set up and haven't worked on a lot of shows. But I try to make it a point to hit everything, and at least with the nature of how things are updated, I'm at least able to kind of jump around. And even though if it is kind of like show related, a lot of times I start like I'll say, okay, I need to capture this or film this, and I need like 30 seconds, 1 minute of filming, and then I'm driving for like an hour or two. Like it's just like I just keep on driving. I had that the other night when I was grabbing footage for the TMX. I just needed a couple quick shots of me driving, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep driving. It's like I was in a Renault practice, and I'm like, I'm gonna figure out how to use these brakes. That's not the easiest to use, as I talked about in the review, and this is fun. So yeah, those lines kind of blur, but I'm hoping now that I'm settled in, the bat's set back up, do more fun driving.
Yeah, I'm pretty much same boat as John. I've gotten to the point where this started as a hobby, turned into a job, and doing it all day. I don't find myself at night anymore. Like I'll be sitting there watching TV with my wife, and I'll think, maybe I want to go turn some laps, and then it's like, nah, I'd rather hang out with my wife, or play some Battlefront or some Uncharted. So since I do it all day long, and even if like last 2 days, I did a lot of testing on, for the Xbox One and the PS4 on the Stage 4. And yeah, it's really tough work, but I found myself, I really like running that point-to-point California coast stage, or that track. And I ended up probably running an extra couple hours just because I was having so much fun, and then tweaking the motion and stuff like that. So, and then booting it up today for that video that I did, I had a blast just running it again. So, by the way, there's another point-to-point Acer coast. I think it's in France. That is a lot of fun too. That's even trickier than the California. But yeah, it's I don't race as much as I'd like to. Mainly because we're just bouncing around so much, title to title, hardware to hardware, and then it just comes time to when it is time to race, I don't. I tell you what, we will be racing in the 24 hours of Nordschleife, and that's coming soon. So someone asked when are we going to see Charlie again. I thought about bringing him down, but I don't want him right now. We're gonna we need to wrap things up here because we're almost on 2 hours. So I'm going to take one more question, and it was from. Hold on a second here. Pull it up. I like this. Was a funny question. Happy, crazy, and wise. You are in a heated race, then your woman comes in wanting to get busy. What do you do?
I wouldn't notice her. It's so.
Yeah, I have a rule. Don't interrupt me while I'm racing. But I mean, if she came down naked, and I don't know. I think I'd probably crash and then end up wanting to have some fun. That's a great question. Sorry for you younger viewers that are a little unsure what we're talking about. John, what about you?
Yeah, sure, yes. What you said.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the program here. Yeah, sure. Tunnel vision, Wade. Don't lose the passion, Darin. Oh, trust me, I haven't. But yeah,
And on that bombshell.
hold on real quick, Avenger. That's what VR is good for.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep. So on that note, why don't we wrap things up, John?
Yeah, so as always, thanks for watching this week Inside Sim Racing. Hopefully we'll have some news soon on those live reviews we're planning on doing. Thought about doing one this Friday. We'll see if that still happens. We got to get our schedules all aligned. But if not, we'll let you know through all the different avenues. And yeah. But again, as always, thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching this week Inside Sim Racing. Always fun to hang out with you guys. We would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you didn't like the show, give us a thumbs down. I'm sure that dude that we banned a couple times gave us a bunch of thumbs down. Whatever. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know I did. I know John did. We'll see you guys next week. For John Sable, I'm Darin Ganji. See you guys next time.